fun.
We are live for the first time ever.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So,
Well, the second time.
Well, you can tell just by looking at the channel name, this is the Chirpcast. I am one of 3 hosts. I am the Aviancy, and I am joined here by Shraytak and Armadin. You might know these guys. They might seem a little bit familiar to you.
Hello.
So who are we? Well, I'll let somebody else go first.
Arma.
Yes, Arma, go first.
Oh, okay. I'm Armadin. I can. There's not really much to say about me. I like birds in general.
We all do. It's kind of one reason why we're here. We're not going to.
It's kind of our thing. It's the
name. All right. And you're the guy that, you compiled a whole lot of stuff that we know. You've gathered stuff from Q&As and stuff. You're basically our library of Armadillion lore.
The guy behind the rite of passage thread.
Yes, the famous thread.
That'll do, I think.
Yeah, you're just famous for the thread, aren't you?
And speaking of fame, we have Shraytak.
Yeah, precisely. That will be me. I don't think that I'm most famous for the Runescape post.
Yep.
But the suggestion is basically Jagex from the beginning, so we just built up on that idea.
Yes, we've added our own. We'll talk about that at the end of the podcast, for sure.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And other than that, in-game, what shall I say? RuneScape veteran, been playing for almost 10 years now. Love divination, and I'm a bit of a bosser too.
Alright, cool. So basically what this is, we'll talk about various stuff, mainly stuff that's going on in the game, just goings on, analyze the BTS, give our opinions about it, because everybody wants to hear our loud mouths, right?
Yeah, beats.
People love our mouth.
Beats.
Oh, everybody loves us. What are you talking about? Everybody loves us.
Of course you do.
I don't even know of any haters. I've never seen them, never encountered them, never interacted with them. I don't think they exist.
That sounds about right.
That's some urban myth or something.
We are universally adored,
yep.
As we should be.
Of course, we deserve that.
Yep. Okay, so going right into it, aquariums. What are your thoughts on that? I'll just disclose right now, I have barely touched them at all. Like, I've opened, between my 2 accounts, maybe a total of, not even 20 prawn balls.
I think that Arm is the one who has the most experience with them.
I think I'm the only one with experience with them.
Yeah.
Because I already finished my aquarium, all the 18 eggs, I believe it was. It's, I suppose we can start from the scratch in that it's a construction update in which you build an aquarium room and then gain access to a new, what's it called? That spherical thing you go down into the aquarium with anyway, and you can kind of dive into it.
Mini submarine or something. But
something like that. I didn't read enough.
Play around the submarine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Excellent preparation here on the Chirpcast. We do all of our research and know what everything is called all the time.
So yeah, that's the one that has to the house. You should know what the name is.
No.
I think it's called
I know the pawnbroker. You got it. That is fair.
Yeah,
so, we use that.
I don't have that on field. The normal one does. He doesn't know the name.
So we go down in there with like a aqua suit. I'm being really awkward right now.
Yeah, but obviously,
suit. I think it's called.
And you add decorations and fishes and stuff, and it's kind of cool. It's a little thing that they added to fishing. It's basically more of an addition to fishing than construction. Yeah. Although the room itself, you have to construct it. Still construct stuff, but a lot of the time you spent actually doing stuff with your aquarium. You're going to be fishing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
the
basic
construction is
idea.
that big.
Because you build a.
So tell us, Arma, what's your experience with it?
Yeah, how do you like it?
It's a grind. That's the basic principle of it.
That's the basic
You have
principle.
to fish, and for each fish, you have like a small chance of getting a golden egg. And that's kind of the goal of the aquarium then. Because if you get a golden egg, you can put it in the aquarium and you get new fish swimming around. And while you're doing so, for every, I can't remember exactly what it was, about 2k, 20k health points or something like that, you get a prawn ball or a prawn cracker. And by opening these, you get
It's
small items.
25k, I think. 25k LP that
25k,
you
oh,
fish
okay.
up. Yeah.
By opening these, you get various content that you can put in the aquarium, like a mermaid's purse, which gives you 20 planks per week, something like that. And a treasure chest, which opens up once a week for a free elite clue scroll.
And that's not
So,
too shabby.
you know,
That's not too shabby, even
no,
though
it's
you can already get a daily elite clue scroll from Elf City pickpocketing. You can get you can get more. You can get as many as you want, as many as you can do, basically. Because like you have to
technically,
drop
but
all the hard ones that you're getting. But anyway, but yeah, that's not too bad at all. Because you never know what you get from those elites. Usually they're not really worthwhile, but every once in a while someone gets that die, and you're like, that could be me.
Precisely, and that's why we keep doing them. But now we're getting a bit off topic here.
Yeah.
you guys are them.
So we got some polls going on. We got some new stuff that's on the way into the game. We want to talk about the polls, the Rune Labs.
Yeah, certainly we could do that.
So let's see. What should we hit first? Should we hit the current Rune Labs?
There's a poll going on right now.
Yeah, when we're recording this.
Yeah, like this is live. We're providing live coverage of the player power polls here. This is important stuff.
Yeah, it's been going on since Thursday. That's 2 days now. It's for the April Rune Labs entries, which was for a medium-sized skilling competition. And the entries are Elf City waterfall fishing, constructible museum room, and a roaming Slayer Master D&D.
And of course, I don't mind. The best,
can't
always
forget
the
about
best
Island
option.
Yeah.
Always the option that's.
I don't mind as well.
only
That's an
one
option. Because
Actually, I don't mind is always the thing that loses. And right now, as of I just pulled it up, it's at Elf City Waterfall Fishing is at 38% with 15,125 votes. Constructible Museum Room at 23% with 9,522. And the Roaming Slayer Master is at 32% with 12,975 votes cast. And I don't mind is actually not even relevant.
We don't even need to talk about that one anymore.
Oh, but I like that one so much. That's my favorite idea. I'm just kidding. My favorite one's actually the museum room.
it's really well designed.
It is.
So anyway, the waterfall fishing is winning, and
Of course
it
it
will
is.
when the poll ends.
Because
Oh, I guess we can.
we had like Elf City and a new Elf Quest is coming out, and why not some more Elf stuff? Just why not? And some more fishing stuff too.
Yeah, because people are bored of
are-
the aquarium. They want more fishing. All those people going for 200
More
meters.
fishing, more elves.
I like fishing more than anybody else, but good googly moogly, not in Elf City. Like, please no. But
City's underground.
there's nothing we can really do. It's gonna probably win. It looks like because that's how these things go. Like they just tend to be decided within the first few minutes anyway.
Precisely.
As we know.
As we all know.
It'd
And
be
the Roaming
interesting, though.
Slayer Master, what do you guys think about that one? Because that's the only thing that could possibly overtake Elf City at this point.
I think it's actually quite a good idea. It will add in some more variation, but Slayer already got a lot of content. It's a very popular skill, and guys keep improving it over time, adding new monsters and new challenges and everything. And I think in general that the opportunity that Rune Labs is, and has proven during the last couple of months really, it could have been used better. But instead we see all of these like preference ideas and spending the most like popular combat options, pretty much what people were predicting once it was launched, and this poll shows it.
Not to mention the previous one, of course. Although agility did almost overthrow Saren, just like it was literally 300 off.
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
wasn't
how
very
close
close.
it was.
It's kind of.
But it was always that close all along. Like when the poll launched, like it was agility and Saren were vying for top spot the whole time. With like Farming Guild, like it had Farming Guild did okay, I guess, and obviously, of course, Armadillo Homeworld Quest not so okay that time.
Yeah,
That's you know what?
That lost.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, and you know, just for our listeners, yes, we were very annoyed at that because it wouldn't even be the first time that's happened to us. But you know, having gotten it into polls twice is still that's progress, I suppose. And people are talking about it. We're talking about it right now.
We are.
Everybody's, you know, they mentioned it in last Q&A developer stream. Somebody asked about it. Actually, it was you, Arma. They put you on blast, too.
No.
They put you so much on
getting
blast.
more famous all the time, seeking for that fame.
Yeah, they really, they gave you a lot of name recognition there. They didn't say anything bad about you.
No, of course I will never do that.
But it was just funny how Kelpie, you just saw that like knowing look on his face, and he like shook his head and just gave that little laugh, and it was like, we knew. It's just like
No.
every time
Yeah,
I mention, he's
giving
like,
him a lot of
these guys, they are.
They're going a bit crazy.
So,
Yeah. Anyway,
okay, so
we
let's move on to the Rune Labs current. We're only going to really talk about the top ideas that are at least on the front page, but we won't go through all of them like in any serious detail. But right now, we got Spectres of War by Hellring. I believe that's how the name is pronounced. Is that correct, Shrey?
Yeah,
Hellring. Okay, with 235 supports. I think each one of us has supported this one. It's a pretty excellent idea. Now you can, obviously for our listeners, you can just go to Rune Labs and read about it. But we'll just give a quick little summary of it here. Basically, it's kind of a continuation on World Event 2, actually, but with a Halloween theme. It's very interesting stuff because it also ties into ghosts. With the World Event being over, there'd be a whole lot of, there was a whole lot of casualties in that particular battle of both sides. So there's
we player helps out with that one.
I contributed. Everybody contributed to it. Unless you were one of those people that just chilled by the player imports portal with PvP off and just did
stood around repairing
anything, which I did that more than anything else. But I did go after caravans. It was fun.
I also did all go after those golems. I thought that was the most challenging thing. Also, that thing was
the
contributed a lot.
Yeah, the golems. Those were
several hundred Ks of health or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. So, I guess what we'll be doing in this event for Halloween is revisiting kind of the world event with all these ghosts cropping up, and they'll actually follow all the old caravan routes, which is interesting. So they might like stop up at a node somewhere or something, and you interact with them by collecting their souls and presumably giving them to somebody. Yes, you give them back to death.
Exactly.
And yeah.
It's a very well thought out idea, and I know that I will chat a bit with Hellring. She's an old friend of mine, and she has a lot of ideas on how to develop that idea even further but as you know, you can't put more than 2 characters into the Rune of his post. So it would be very interesting to see that one if it wins.
Yeah, that's it's doing really well. It's at the top, and then just below that,
Yeah, absolutely.
just below that, we have another world event related thing. It's Iclarin versus Amascut, which is funny because the person who proposed the Slayer D&D has the username Amascut. But that's basically self-explanatory. I want to talk about that at all?
Yeah.
Well, it's basically join a faction, fight out.
Fight it out.
The interesting part, I guess, is that
I think
Nomad's
it's
Imp is going to be the neutral party in the event, apparently, and there's going to be rewards, of course,
always about
which
the
is a
rewards.
divination.
Iclarin War Priest confirmed. Because that's what we always get from
No.
the events. This is something more along the lines of like Braska versus Marimbo. And I don't see how they can put the Godless into this one because it's not even on Gillinor. It's in the land of where you go
It's
after
not.
you die. Because, just for people that are listening and they might not be intimately familiar with the lore, Iclarin he's a semi-deity. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, he's basically a low-tiered god, but his job is to escort souls into their various afterlives. But Amascut is his sister, and they've been fighting. Like, this is like a sibling rivalry that spans like hundreds of years, if not thousands.
Yeah, it's kind of on the bigger scale of us of the sibling rivalry.
Yeah, and she's the devourer, and I guess she devours souls. She's kind of like a female nomad, if you will. Then there's a actual Halloween event, and that's the Festival of Zamorak, with apparently werewolves, because it is proposed by the biggest werewolf fan in the entire game. In fact, he has another idea that's also still on the first page for the werewolf spin-off quests, which is Halloween themed, so that's fair enough. That's why it's staying there. But the Festival of Zamorak, what's interesting about this one is that there's a lot of lore put into this one, and I see what he did there, by the way. Like, if you actually read through it, towards the end somewhere, you see what he did there, because he snuck in a little something for himself there with the werewolf outfit. Because that's one of his like biggest pet peeves, is that there's really no good werewolf outfits in the game. And he was so happy
Which
just
is
to
fair
get
enough if people
Gerard's.
want it.
He was so happy just to get Gerard's cape,
Yeah,
But
but
it's
it's kind
doing
of
well,
nice.
so-
It has some nice effects.
Yeah, it's good for thieving and stuff. But now we'll get like a whole werewolf outfit. And he wants like a serious Halloween event. Not like some of the goofy stuff that we've done in the past. Which,
Yeah, there's very good ideas on the first page, and I think that actually a lot of them are holding a quite good quality. At least the top ones, and they are seems to be well put out, and they are explained in a good and
okay, but there are some
Accessible
shit
way.
posts. There are still some
there
shit
are
posts
always
on the
good
first page.
posts.
Downvoting on RuneLab ideas. That's currently number 4. That actually overtook the sequel to Broken Home. Like, people want to downvote RuneLab's ideas more. How about just not vote? That's how you do that. Because then, like idea, the top supported idea would it would have like 10 supports because of so many people just downvoting it and voting up their own ideas.
Yeah.
And basically all the same stuff that goes to the top would just go to the top anyway.
Precisely. But really, I mean, an actual downvoting into the system, that would just be horrible. I think, as you say, it's a much better idea. If you don't like an idea, just don't vote for it, and
Or you even go
try
on
to have a
Twitter
discussion about it.
and rage about it and tell people not to vote for it and tell them and give good arguments as to why not.
Precisely, have a good discussion instead, and that goes for a lot of things in game.
It seems like just like downvoting in general across the internet is just dying off. Like Facebook has never had a dislike button. The thumbs down button on YouTube has zero effect in like the comments sections. Never really had an effect with the videos themselves. I guess if a video gets a lot of dislikes, it's not as likely to get seen, like not as likely to get shown if you search for something or whatever. But like just the whole idea of the thumbs down, it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't. It stopped existing on the internet because a whole lot of different comments forums work like how Google Plus's horrible YouTube system works. That basically just promotes trolling. Because you can't, like, trolls will just get, like, a ton of upvotes, but they'll get, like, twice as many downvotes, but still go up to the top anyway, because it doesn't show downvotes anymore.
Yeah.
But on Runelabs, it makes sense not to put downvotes.
It does. Yeah, I guess I actually thought that out well.
And Araxor Quest, that's still holding its own at 81. It's down the page
That's
a little
our buddy.
bit, but
Yeah, idea number 1. First idea I ever submitted.
that was interesting when I saw
Speed
that.
of
I was like, Araxor Quest. Never really thought of that one. That's certainly like about as off the wall as you can. And I could tell like the guy was ready to go. Like he was just waiting for Runelabs to come out so he could just post this right away.
Yep, and he managed.
Yep. So next on the bill we have the behind the scenes for May.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of like swarm of ninja updates, basically. Like
Yup.
just a massive swarm, whole bunch of little things. It seems like they've added a whole bunch of people to that ninja team too. So I'm thinking that poll from a couple months back about size versus frequency, I'm pretty sure they're going with what we said on that because like you don't increase the ninja team by that much if you're not doing that.
Yeah, they're starting to plan and starting to work on
I
it
think
now,
they're-
and it's
they're-
rather obvious.
They're gearing towards that, and
They haven't actually confirmed that they're going to go with the larger updates and less frequency yet, but I suppose this is a sign that there's going to be more ninja stuff and then larger updates in between, maybe.
yeah, which it's still a hot button as to whether that's actually a good thing or not. I think it's okay. I'm okay with it because it's better off to get them, allowing them to spend a little bit more time on these big updates so that they can actually get them right for starters. Besides, with more ninja fixes, they'll have more updates to fix the things that they break, right?
Yep.
That's kind of the
That's true.
idea. But
Need
people
that.
still wanted
Yeah.
There's still like a lot of people that still wanted it to keep going the way it's going.
Yeah, which is fair because you want to log in every week and see something new.
Of course.
Yeah. And see, like the
People
ninja,
love to
they
read his
really-
passions more and more. Those are
They're
getting their own fan base pretty much. So it seems like I guess I go in the right way with this one.
Yeah, I think so too. They'll be able to fix things, and the ninja team, like they used to just do little fixes. Like I didn't know what the ninja team was at first. Like when they first came out, like when was that? Like a year ago or something. I was like, what is the ninja team? Like I thought there was like an actual there were actual ninjas going to be running around doing stuff. Like you would just encounter
but
a
I guess
ninja,
you
like,
never
oh,
know.
okay, there's a ninja. Oh, look, cool. But no, it turns out that's actually a development team, and they fix stuff. And they, it's not just fixing things, but it's also like quality of life, making things not as sucky as they were before.
Yeah, and they actually develop completely new things as well. I mean, look at the boss pets, which have been a very popular update.
Oh yeah,
That was the ninjas who fixed that.
they'll eventually get round to letting us use our boss pets as familiars overrides. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
hopefully.
familiar overrides themselves were. Was that also ninja?
I'm not completely sure, but sounds likely.
So like they're not only just going
the
around.
BDS is pretty.
It's intense. And then, of course, we have the road trip, which is still ongoing, which is basically the same thing as it was back in September.
That was actually last year in May as well.
Did they have a road trip in May? They had something.
No, September was Super September. That was a whole other thing.
That was.
But it's
2
kind of the
years
basic.
ago.
Yeah. Nice mix up there. But yeah, I understand it. The May road trip, it's basically the same principle.
But they added some new stuff. You know what they need for that though? When you go to get your chit, which is what they call it now, which has already just been like joked about to death. Shit.
Yeah.
It sounds like shit. But it's not. It's actually not. It's actually not shit. It actually is a shit.
It's very good. It's the opposite of shit.
Exactly. Which is so. It's kind of ironically named. I don't know who came up. Like you realize like they had to sit through a board meeting or something, and somebody had to propose this idea. Like, oh, let's call the things that players use to skip tasks chits. And everybody, like a whole bunch of people, just had to sit around and saying, oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, I don't really know if they checked that out that much. There's so many different things. I think that last year they were called tickets or something. They weren't called gifts at least. They were called something else.
They were stamps.
Stamp,
you
please?
just got your book stamp.
Stamps.
Everybody would stand around screaming, "Stamp, please! Stamp, please!" And that was horribly executed at first because the JMod used to have to just run around and stamp people. But of course, people would be following the JMod and they wouldn't be able to actually get them, so they'd be crying like, "Where's my stamp?"
I remember that. I
And then they
shared
did-
this one. Oh my god, you got to let me share this one. I was standing at this Baroque fountain for I think it was the first stamp session, or maybe the second. It was the first one which was actually popular because it was in the evening, European time, and Mod Osborne was also a very, very popular mod and very famous.
Oh, it was probably insane.
Well, yeah, and he was going to go there, and I mean, it was. I knew there was going to be a lot of people, so I actually wanted to hop to the world like 20-15 minutes before, and it was at like 1,986 or something people in that world 20 minutes before the time. So yeah, you can imagine the lag, and people were having their familiars, and people were having this, and I never even saw Mod Osborne. I didn't even see him, and it was like my screen was updating every 1.5 minutes or
Basically,
something.
slideshow scape. That's what I call that. That's what I call that because it's just so slow. You basically are at like negative 25 frames per second, and they need like to do it on more worlds or something because every time you just basically funnel like half the entire player base onto 2 worlds. You're basically effectively DDoSing the world and making the whole thing laggy because everybody's trying to get in on it at once. So they definitely need to like add to worlds, and they can. I'm pretty sure they can because they do like the JMod clones now. Like you just talk to a thing and it just gives you your thing, which is nice. They definitely improved it from last year, for sure.
Yeah,
About
they
that,
need to screw it out in different
uploaded
worlds.
today.
What did
Actually,
you say?
today they have fixed it so that the JMod clones appear on 3 worlds at a time.
Oh, they did?
That's from Mod Easty. Yeah. If I open my journal, it should say, yeah, it's just 3 worlds now, so...
That's
next one, for
awesome. They
example, will
listened
be
to
on
us. They
27,
heard us.
26 and 88.
That's great. That will make it a lot easier.
So they have 3. Yeah, I just checked my journal as well. It says that there's 3 worlds, and it says when they're going to appear and where, and that's very nice because, of course, they'll still announce it, and everybody will panic and all hop at once and just rush it and still take the world down. But it's probably to a lesser extent. Like the later on in the day it goes, like it'll be less people trying to go for that because everybody's already got them. So that's good. They've expanded to 3 worlds. That's a good start.
It's not gonna be pretty crowded though. So if you wanna go there for these stamps, not really.
Stamp, please.
Shit.
Stamp, please.
So if you wanna go there,
I don't give a
there on
shit.
time.
Give me one. Give me a chit. because I don't give a shit.
Either you go there in plenty of time, or you go after like, how long do you stay? An hour, right? So you can go there after like half an hour or something too, and it will be less laggy. It's a good idea. Just a tip.
Yep. And there's obviously also new types of rewards. There's that cute creature, which is interesting because if you played the Eyes of Glowfree, I think that's what it's
Yeah.
called. I probably botched the name. Those things are actually spies for an evil gnome, so I don't know how that really works with the lore to be getting one as a pet.
But there are actually cute creatures which are cute creatures too, aren't there?
I think they
so.
promised that it's totally not an evil spy.
They were just used as such.
Yeah, precisely. I think that there are actually
Six-legged
cute
bunnies.
creatures.
They're like spider bunnies. It's very strange. They're very cute, but they're very strange. Except spiders fail because spiders have 8 legs. These things have 6. And then, of course, there's also
ant bunnies, maybe?
What?
Ant bunnies.
Half bunny, half...
No. Half ant. Ant, you know, the insect, 6 legs.
Ah, yes, okay. I was saying half bunny, half ant.
Yeah.
Be a big ant, though.
Very big ant.
Like those carpenter ants down the Chaos Stones. And the only reason why I know about those is because I sometimes have to do elites there. You just hate your life.
Yeah, luckily we don't have that many big ants here.
Well, carpenter ants, they'll eat the shit out of everything.
The shit.
They'll eat all your chits.
Yeah.
They'll find where
So
you're
watch
hiding
out.
them. They'll find where you're stashing them in your little wooden box, and first they'll eat the wooden box, and then they'll eat the chits themselves.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful when going on the road trip here, so you don't find the rewards too fast.
Those wily little things.
Yeah.
And there's going to be an aura, which we were really nervous about this thing at first, actually. And why were we nervous about it at first? That's totally a rhetorical question.
Come on, Arma. You can tell
Probably
them.
doesn't have to do with an idea for a rite of passage. Okay, yeah, it does, but we have an idea. We have resubmitted rite of passage recently, and one of the rewards we've listed is special resources that have faster chopping rates and better XP. So what does this aura do? It gives us access to a dungeon with resources that have faster gathering rates and better XP.
Suited to your level, of course, but that was really nerve-wracking at first, because we were like, did they really just do that to us? That's kind of a dick move. But it turns out that thing's only going to be around for 30 days. Like, once those 30 days are done with the aura, like, that's it. No more of it. And in the long run, it might actually help. It might actually help, because we'll just be able to call back to it. It's like, hey, remember that awesome aura that you could go to a special little resource dungeon and get some resources at a faster rate and more experience? Yeah, well, we have something like that too, but it's permanent. And it's a gigantic world of, like, floating islands. Think like Runescape on methamphetamines. And there's just all kinds of crazy stuff going on.
I'm not sure if we go exactly that metaphor there, but yeah.
You gotta oversell it a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta oversell it a little bit, but yeah. But certainly we will be referencing to the aura, and people can get more clear picture of what we are thinking along the lines. It's always a good idea.
Yeah, and that's just a couple of things that we have for our proposal, which we'll talk more about at the end of this episode. And then, did we want to talk about the new dyes they're putting in?
Yeah, they were mentioned in the May BTS as well. Quite shortly, full, and we don't have any exact details. But what we do know is that it's going to be available from the SKS Silvermount store, and that it's going to be able to recolor at least some of the outfits, and gonna be a bit of a response to the request from many players that there aren't enough color options, that you can't really customize your outfit as much as you maybe wish to. As we know, there's this Fashionscape, as it's called, and it has quite a large amount of followers. So that's certainly a move from Jagex to try to use that and make people happy, and also make themselves more GPs.
More IRL GP to sell all
Precisely.
this. I remember people talking
Yeah,
about
'cause you can pay.
complaining about that at RuneFest, that like the Thessalia's shop or whatever to change your default colors, it's just kind of horrible. There's just really it's not that severely limited, but it's pretty severely limited. And people wanted it to be more like what you can do with your max cape or your clan cape.
Precisely. And we're most probably going to get something along the same like color range options. That's gonna be much better.
Yeah, basically whatever you can do with Photoshop, you'll probably be able to do with this. In terms of colors, at least.
Yeah.
Maybe not that far.
That remains to be seen. You remember they just released skin dyes, and that's a very limited selection, although it covers a lot of the spectrum.
Yeah, that was a strange one. I haven't seen that many people using any kind of crazy colors for their skins.
It didn't get that popular, really.
Yeah, it didn't get.
I thought a lot of people will be using that, but nope. I mean, you can see people wear all kinds of.
It's one-time use. It's not exactly too exciting.
I still
Bigger
see
updates this month though are pretty good.
Oh yeah, there's still more updates. Like I said, it's just a whole swarm of ninja fixes.
Yeah.
And one really big update, which we all know what it is. But first, we're going to talk about the mini games. They're finally, because they've been talking about this forever, it seems. Ever since mini games started dying off, they've been kind of reworking a few here and there, like Barbarian Assault, trying to revive it, because EOC basically at first killed Barbarian Assault because nobody wanted to really go there anymore, except for bonus agility experience, which is pretty nice to get, but other than that, like, who was gonna go get like a torso? Because that was the main thing that everybody wanted before EOC. Like, that was the thing to have for your.
Yeah, it was real status back then.
For nice your peers. Like, it was all about the peers and their torsos.
Yep.
Or Zerkers. Zerkers they really like their torsos. So they're gonna be reworking mini games, putting them in a spotlight.
Yeah, what exactly is this spotlight? Do you wish to explain that?
Sure.
Why is it called minigame spotlight?
Because they're gonna kind of rework like the reward system. There's like, I think it's a new currency. I forget precisely what it's called. It's in the BTS video. You can go look it up real quick. It's not a very long video. And when they spotlight a certain mini game, playing that mini game will get you 5 times the amount of points or whatever you get for it. I believe the first one they were going to highlight was
Barbarian Assault, I think.
Yeah. Sure?
Yeah. Then it's Conquest.
Yes.
And they're called, I just checked it out, it's called Tailors. Bailers.
Okay.
Something like that.
Something like that. So you get those, and those go towards your rewards. And when you do the one that's spotlighted, and it'll rotate around, you get 5 times those things.
That you would normally have got from playing that game.
Exactly. So it's really a huge incentive to go play those like kind of overlooked mini games, because I've seen them do. What is that one on Pirate Island? I cannot think of the name of that thing for right now.
Trouble Brewing. You're forgetting.
Trouble Brewing, precisely. On Muscle Harness.
Like I was saying, they do Trouble Brewing events all the time. I see them all the time. It seems like.
Yeah, I've seen not that many, but I've seen quite a few.
Like, they're trying to get people to play those obscure mini games like that. And I think Trouble Brewing, if I remember correctly, it's going to also be spotlighted as well. I mean, it's gonna be one of the first ones to get it. It needs some love.
It needs some love, no doubt. And I mean, the problem has been there for such a long time, really. I mean, Trouble Brewing haven't been active for 5 years. More than that, 5, 6, 7.
But even mini games, too. they're like totally dead. Heist is just
Yeah,
totally
Heist.
dead.
It was so high,
Nobody.
and I was like, this is gonna die because the rewards aren't even close to what you can get from other places, and it's like what? A couple of days it was played. I was there like 5 days after it had been released, because we were released on a Tuesday or something. I was there on the Saturday. It was dead. I couldn't get a game.
Yeah, like
And
even
then
on
it's really
World 2,
bad.
there wasn't help for it. It's like, just figure that out in your own community. Here you go, you ungrateful little brats. We know stealing creation is better bonus hunter experience, but just take it, damn you.
Precisely.
And nobody wanted to play it. I've played it a couple of times from time to time. I actually went and got like a guard buff because I would always end up on the guard team, which would get really annoying because I would always lose. And then it came to a point where it's like no matter what team I get placed on, I lose. I'm on the losing team. So maybe I'm just not really good at this and I should reconsider all of my life choices and just not play this minigame anymore.
But really, to get a bit back on the topic, really, they have been trying multiple things to actually get the minigames up to date and to get them like hyped up and to actually see some use. I mean, the first activity what we're doing is mostly to try to host these events and to raise awareness, and there's been plenty of discussion. And then it tries to start reworking some of them, Barbarian Assault, the most recent one. They even introduced new ones, Heist, and tried to push for other ones. I know that they improved, for example, the Great Orb project. They have tweaked the rewards and tried to make it more attractive there. But I think that what's really needed is the reward part, because even if you get some XP from some of them, I mean, the only really active minigame today that high levels do would be Castle Wars because of that dream requirement. Other than that, it's pretty much dead.
Yeah, well, there's still a little bit of life in pest control, but not very much.
Yeah,
It'll probably
it's
take out a
because
lot.
of the community. Because of the community that the
thing that-
minigame has.
The thing the minigame spotlight is going to do is these failures are going to be rewarded no matter which side you're on, and it's going to be based on how long you've played, rather than like how well you did, etc. So, you can enjoy any minigame, get any reward from any minigame just by playing. So that's going to improve a lot of the issues like heists, not having good rewards.
Heist had a weird mechanic where it was actually incentivized not to try to win the game right away. You wanted to keep it going for like 10 or more minutes, I think, and that would get you more reward points no matter which side you were on. I remember that. And it worked out, but at the same time, like, in the 10 minutes, like, you can have already played through 2 games to get points. So, it's... yeah. And Castle Wars, I still remember going to Castle Wars and just seeing a whole bunch of compers just standing around. They're just standing outside the waiting area and just AFKing the whole time for their trims.
Precisely, and that's the biggest problem that minigame has, really.
And I've even
hopefully
caught...
that will be partly solved with this one. I think that this idea is actually one of the better ones they have released so far to liven up minigames again. Something which is obviously needed.
Yeah, I've also caught compers AFKing with like an alt in the minigame, which you cannot do. Like, you're so not allowed to do that, but they do it anyway. Like, they're just AFKing on the lander while their alt goes and actually plays pest control. It's like, you really shouldn't be doing that. You're bringing the team down is what you're doing. You people that do that, I know you. I've seen you.
Precisely.
Yeah. And then they also talked about that stuff from the beta in the BTS, which I want to get into here. So that area looting, GF Charm Imp? No? Yes?
Yes.
GF
I say
Charm
yes.
Imp.
I mean, the looting system is really something that's caused a lot of debate. I've seen that, and people are calling it like easy escape and so on, but really, what is it? It's a couple of clicks to get your stuff. It won't improve your loot. Yeah. It will save you a couple of irritating clicking on the floor. That's what it will do. It's really nothing new, and it's mainly quality of life. It will save you your mouse buttons a bit. That's about it. It won't affect the economy or anything.
How about instead of calling it easy escape, we call it not getting repetitive strain injuries on your wrist escape?
Yeah, precisely. And I think that people are seeing the end of RuneScape to Doom way too often over things like these. I mean, come on. It makes things a little easier. That's it.
Just look at games in general, just gaming in general. Like the example I always use that nobody's ever heard, but I always compare the original Star Fox for the Super Nintendo versus Star Fox 64. It's other than just the graphics,
I remember those.
Basically the same game, but the original Star Fox is like ball smashing, tough, hard. Like I probably still wouldn't be able to beat it today. Like I would not be able to beat the hard path. I'd probably barely scrape through on the easy path and maybe succeed 1 out of like 10 times on the intermediate path. Like the original Star Fox is just ridiculous. But Star Fox 64, like I could do that in my sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, it's a lot easier. Even like the hardest possible path in Star Fox 64 was just like, it wasn't boring or anything. It was just easier, and it looked better too, much better. In fact, like it actually looked like real stuff. Because the original Star Fox, it was just blank polygons, like stuff made out of polygons.
Technically, we hadn't gone that far back then.
Yeah. Because they really wanted to do the 3D stuff, but they couldn't have like textures on anything. It was just the shapes, and that was it.
Yeah, it has gone forward a bit with the technology since then, luckily.
But yeah, gaming in general it's gotten a lot easier since the early days, and so it would make sense for RuneScape to be following that kind of trend. Like if you compare old school RuneScape to RuneScape 3, like it's kind of like Star Fox versus Star Fox 64.
Precisely.
And I think they also had
back on topic a bit, maybe. Armor, you have been silent for a while. What do you think about this area looting and other bits of stuff that's coming now with the death mechanics and everything? What's your thoughts?
Stuff is really cool. There's not much to say about it, really. It's area looting.
Precisely. It's not really easy escape, as it's usually called, in my opinion, just to conclude a bit. I mean, certainly it will make your looting and maybe your slave tasks a bit faster, a tiny bit, but you're still going to have to kill it like you usually do, have to use the same tactics. You're going to have to think about what you do, and there's no bossing is going to be easier or anything like that. It's if you kill these really easy creatures like cows, where you can kill 10 in 5 seconds if you're max pretty much, then you might have a lot of use for this system, but otherwise it won't change that much.
Like if you're like one of the 2 people that hasn't done Dimension of Disaster yet, and you'd want to get that leather to make your money, like that's how you would go about it. You'd be able to pick up all that stuff really easily, and you'd be able to be selective about it too. The cow hides, because you don't really need the beef for anything other than later on in the quest. And of course, this gets to the real meat, very meaty stuff, because they hinted at Tuska. They actually didn't say anything about Tuska. They did not mention the name Tuska.
No, they did not. I was surprised about that. I thought it was going to be like 80% of the BTS was going to be Tuska.
But they trolled us so hard with this like swarm of
they trolled us.
Updates. They did, because you had to watch to the very end of it. And apparently people were just, like, really complaining about the lack of Tuska in the BTS, but it was like, you clearly didn't watch the whole thing.
Yeah,
'Cause
I think that
all they
people were
did
trolled
was-
by the music that was actually going in before. It was like the typical Iris music that you should put in at the very end of the video.
Uh-huh.
It came before they mentioned Astromancer, so people were just pausing or closing down the tab or window.
Yeah,
So
that's
people
what they
were badly trolled.
But they didn't say anything. Like, we still don't really know anything new that we didn't already know.
Yeah, they are doing it well. They are keeping it a bit like the old Jagex, so to say. They're keeping it close to
They're
your
not-
heart.
We know they're going to
hyping
tease
it.
it a lot. I would bet that on Tuesday, when the next update comes out, there's going to be something in game referencing Tuska.
Oh, yeah, of course, sure. I
And
bet that the telescope
probably
in the
going to-
Patreon.
See,
Yeah,
I
you said
remember
I would say that.
asking in a
There's
lore
going to be an-
Q&A, not about Armadillo Avian Seeds, surprisingly, but I actually asked, like, if we would be getting more hints about, like, Tuska in-game. Like, you look into your telescope, and instead of seeing a shooting star, you see Tuska coming, and it's like, oh shit, there's Tuska. And then you look again, and it's a shooting star or something. But yeah, I asked about that, and I don't think I really got a definitive answer on it. But the
What did you get for
answer...
answer? What was the answer you got then?
What?
What answer did you receive?
I don't remember, to be honest. I don't even know if the Q&A is still up. I didn't think to go looking for it before we started on the air. So preparation.
The Chirpcast, the most prepared podcast of them all.
Oh yeah, we have our ducks in a row before we go on.
Yeah.
Not.
All of them. All of them. All two. All two of them.
And apparently it's not just mini games that's getting reworked. It's just also D&D's stuff like familiarization, the Phoenix Layer, Goblin Flash Mobs. I don't see what they're gonna. Okay, so I'm looking at the dev blog now.
Yeah,
Do we really have anything to say about Tuska other than just like other than the comment
we could
on
tell people we don't know that much about it. I mean, it's the third world event, obviously.
and they're keeping that information about that under wraps. And they did have a couple of streams where they showed off some like new War Priest, and they tweeted a couple of pictures. One looked like a crazy tree thing, and it looked like it was either praying range or signaling something that had to do with range, which is very interesting. There was like another picture, it was like a door. So there's like buildings. There's entire buildings on Tuska. And I believe that would probably be the A-Roots that actually built them there, because they worship her.
Precisely.
So you would be raiding into there. It would be kind of like dungeoneering, I guess. Which I'll stay away from that part of it, because I do not like dungeoneering. I'll check it out. I'll give it a fair shot.
I bet that whatever it is, I mean, this is heavily influenced by Multicris L. I think that
So
a big part of it is that we're gonna get a lot of high-level stuff to kill. I can't say that much already, and I feel like even though there's gonna be skilling too, obviously, and so I think that this is going to be the most combat-oriented world event we have seen. I mean, Virago is involved after all, so
yeah, that's gonna make sure that the Godless win, because everybody's like, oh my god, it's Virago. I'll join him.
precisely. And that's been discussed a lot already, the popularity of Virago and not how much Goblins are going to win by, but not if they're gonna win, but how much they're gonna win by. And I think that
At least how
That's
much
pretty
they'll
accurate.
lead by, because supposedly Tuska can still win, and I'm not sure how they're gonna work that in. Like, are they gonna realize, like, oh shit, we were just bluffing, and then they'll have to come up with some BS to, oh, actually, Tuska like slipped on a
yeah,
and
it will. I really wonder what they have planned for that.
For
mean,
that scenario, because they would basically just have to like destroy the entire game. Like,
yeah,
like what would they do?
they will just push everyone to the abyss, and yeah, then we will build Gilner up again or something lame like that.
How do you can't do that? There's no way you can't do that. You just can't. Where would you go? Like, where would you go to?
What we're probably going to look at is Tesco wins, then something else would have to interfere because we clearly failed. And the most likely candidate for this
The Elder Gods are gonna step
Saros.
in and just save the
Okay,
world.
but if the Elder Gods wake up, that's pretty much
Yeah,
the end
but
of the universe,
that's the
isn't it?
problem later.
That's another problem.
Yeah, that's another
Like
problem.
that's even
That's
bigger
the
than
end of the
Tuska.
story.
So it's
That's not going to
ridiculous.
happen. What I mean is Saros is probably going to do something if we fail.
I actually asked about this in the Q&A, and I remember paraphrasing. This is not word for word the answer that I got, because I asked like, why isn't Zeros being involved in this? And they basically said that Zeros really kind of just was going to let his followers, choose whatever faction they want to support. And basically, if we can't handle Tuska, then we're certainly not ready for what's coming next. And that's basically all they said about that. But yeah, maybe Zeros could still interfere, because he is
because
incredibly powerful.
he needs the world.
He does need Gillinor, so that was the main thrust of the question I was asking. Is like why he's not even sending his followers into it. Like he's not going to be.
Yeah, we could use
faction.
Nyx against Tuska. Really, couldn't we? She would just be like, oh.
She would be the
she's
general
now in a
for
piece of
sure.
ice, and she would want. Yeah, maybe that one. Pretty much.
I think Tuska's a little bit too big to do that.
Nah, no problem.
But she could certainly join in the fight, but I guess she won't be, which is kind of a letdown, because Zerosians have been... I know some Zerosians have been spoiling to be in a world event, but they're not going to get that. It's just not going to happen, supposedly. Like, isn't there multiple sources basically denying up and down that Zeros will ever be involved in a world event?
Oh, yeah, I guess I've been pretty much.
They're pretty adamant about that.
He will never. No, they are. I have never seen that they say. I read pretty much everything about that, and they'll never say that Saros will be involved anyway. He will be standing out of it. And there's probably a very, like, both game-wise and lore-wise, and also from a player perspective. I mean, if Saros was a part of it, he would win every world event. There wouldn't even be a fight.
Yeah.
The others wouldn't stand a chance. It would be 90% Saros.
He would be the Deus Ex Machina against Tuska and just scold us for a little while. Like, you couldn't even keep this away. Like, God damn it, you guys. Do I have to do everything?
Precisely.
And a thing I find comical about it, and we can't have a discussion of Tuska without going into this one, is there's actually people that want to help her, which is just crazy. Why?
Yeah, there are.
Why?
Precisely.
Sri, you have to go.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta go do your stuff.
Do my stuff.
We'll carry this to the end,
Yeah.
Arma. We'll carry this,
Yeah.
Arma. I can carry this. Let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm thinking pretty much down.
Carry this.
But I trust Arma here. He knows everything I know anyway, so he just a bit more of a noob, but that will have to do for now.
Hey, he has a comp. You don't.
Yeah,
I
but
did
I got
lie.
more total XP than him.
He's trying. I'm not
I got
even.
I got a purple word of 122. This is actually real, so yeah, that doesn't count. Right, Orma?
Alright.
Give me a couple of days and I will be having that comp as well. No problem. Weeks at least. Weeks, I mean. 2-3 weeks and I will have comp as well.
So we have that to look forward to.
Yeah, I do. But yeah, good luck with the rest of pod.
We were almost done anyway, I think.
Yeah.
We were just going to make fun of the people that wanted to support Tuska.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
just
So I trust you guys. Good luck with that.
like I've seen on the forums people battling this out. Like I just don't
Yeah, the
understand
stress
why would you
for
want to do that. You keep your stuff here. Why? Why do you want to? It's just totally illogical. Like it's yeah,
it's decided to be on the kind of.
and people are like trying to use some real like bullshit sophistry to try to justify it. And it's just silly. You just look silly. Sophistry like, oh yeah, well they can't make us all be good. It's like this isn't even about good versus evil. This is about survival. Like no matter how you feel about Tuska, like even if you're good or evil or whatever in between, like you you're not gonna want to just let her eat you. Like that's just not gonna be an option. There's the only way to help Tuska is just not participate in the event and just please just shut up about it. Is you're just bringing the discussion down instead of being able to talk about like what we might see. We have to address you freaking idiots. Ay. Like I think a lot of it comes from just there's a certain subset of the player base that just hates the game. They hate it with a passion, but they keep playing it anyway. And this is like their big opportunity to troll everybody and basically just wreck everything and go ha ha. Like I think that's what a lot of it is. What do you think? You're the
I'm not
shy
sure.
one.
It's kind of like that. That the game itself is, as I said, more of a be the evil guy, see the story kind of take more of a.
Uh oh. I think we just lost connectivity. Are you still there? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay, like you just dropped off. Like I just couldn't hear anything. That was strange. We're
Weird.
definitely gonna have to think of a different way to host this in the future.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, this seems to be pretty nice. I mean, like I said, like when we were setting this up, like a lot of people, like there's quite a few people that like to do hangouts on air. It's a fairly popular option for doing something like this. Just a nice little chat.
And the
It
audio
just
is fine.
automatically posts itself. I know you can do that with Twitch, but I don't really like Twitch. I don't like streaming on Twitch at least. Like it just doesn't work properly for most of it for me. It's just I don't know.
We'll see what the future brings for this show.
Yep. I
And
think
some
that about
alternative
wraps it
stuff.
up, doesn't it? About wraps it up.
Probably. We've done the BTS. We've done it. It's all there.
Yeah, we'll have to do that shameless self promotion with Rite of Passage next time we do it. We'll keep you posted. So until then, chirps out.